Hey, this is Meredith Elliott Powell, and you know what time it is because I don't know what time it is. Oh my gosh, we are switching time zones like crazy as Mark and I are on this cruise to Alaska,
No,
working.
we're coming back from
Yeah,
Alaska.
that's right.
That's right.
Working with our group on a mastermind. But as Mark and I always do, we come live to you with sales logic because it is really important to drive your sales every single week. So, Mark, how's the week been for you?
The week has been good, but you know what? We do get off this boat in about 22 and a half hours.
Mm.
And I don't know about you, but I'm ready to get off the
Yeah.
boat for good. We've had a fun week, but yeah, it's been long.
Yeah, and Natalie, you are awesome as always to join us. But even though here we are cruising away, we're moving time zones, all that kind of crazy stuff, Mark and I've got a really power-packed show for you today. So let's get started. Hey, once again, this is Meredith and Mark coming to you from. We could be in Canada.
I think
now.
we are off the northern tip of Vancouver Island.
Yeah,
right now.
yeah. So anyway, before Mark tells you what is on tap for today, I like to tell you how the show works. Every week, Mark and I come to you and we start the show off with a question from you, the audience. That's right. We want to hear your ideas, your questions, because this show is about you. If you've got a question, something you want us to focus on, send it to saleslogicpodcast.com. We cover a hot topic, we recommend a book, and because we want you to leave with return on investment, we have a lightning round. So Mark, what's up for today?
Well, the topic today is the value of a mastermind. And because that's what we've been doing. We've been on this ship with our mastermind group. We've been meeting. So we're going to talk about the value of a mastermind and how it really impacts your sales. The question this week comes to us from Cindy in Little Rock, Arkansas. She says, I'm brand new to sales, moving out of IT. I want to learn from the best. Is it better to get a coach or join a mastermind? Well, we've got the sales logic brain, and I could drop it in there. But you know what? I want to hear from you. What's yours? So we'll kind of pass the brain's a powerful tool.
It is
Excellent tool, because for those of you, when we talk about the sales logic brain, what is it? We have a resource where we've taken all of my content and all of Meredith's content, dumped it into an AI, artificial intelligence, and you can ask it any question, and it comes back as to what Mark or Mayor would say for the answer for the question. So.
Yeah, this is such a great question. Hire a coach or join a mastermind. I would say, and with Cindy, you're brand new to sales. I don't know that you could effectively use a coach right now because with a coach, you have to be able to tell a coach what you want to work on, where your strengths are and where your weaknesses are. If I were you, I would find a mastermind. I would find a group of people that I could meet with on a regular basis, that I felt comfortable, that I could share ideas with, but more than anything, I could be vulnerable about where I'm struggling and really, really what I need. A mastermind is really effective if you're ready to use the mastermind. You've got to come to every meeting ready to say, this is what I need, this is what I want.
There's a real key, though, with a mastermind, because it's not just finding some friends. Hey, let's get together and let's talk sales. And well, you wind up talking everything but sales. A mastermind has to be a group of people who are committed to lifting each other up, who are committed to helping each other. Because if the sum of the parts is not greater than the individuals, then why are you joining the mastermind? That's why I like the mastermind we're in, because the sum of our parts, we get into some incredibly deep conversations, and as a result, we come up with better answers, better solutions. That's what's absolutely key. Don't accept the fact, hey, I just want, no, because value. But the other piece about a mastermind group is the accountability.
Yeah.
That's
just what Natalie is saying here.
Okay. Yeah, jump in.
Well, I was just going to say Natalie's part of our mastermind, and the biggest, Natalie, when you just made that comment, the biggest thing that just popped up for me is accountability. It's funny when we were meeting here on the ship, and I had to pull up we met in Phoenix, Arizona in January, and I had to go back through and say what I'd committed to and what I had accomplished and what I hadn't. And you and I, as well as our partners in the mastermind, we had things that we had done in real areas we'd made progress, but then you go, oh, God, I'm not doing that. And I don't know about you, but I've already kind of scheduled some stuff, and you and I are going to meet and talk about some things that we promised to deliver that we hadn't delivered. So that accountability is really key.
That is so powerful, because here's the thing. If I didn't have the accountability, I could let stuff slide. I mean, I can be the biggest slacker.
Oh, hardly.
I can be the biggest slacker in the world. But when I know that Mayor is breathing down my neck to get something done for Sales Logic, or one of the other people in our mastermind, this is why accountability. But here's the thing about accountability. It's not just people beating you up, and it's not just you beating up other people. But here's what's interesting. As you hold people accountable, you have to realize that you're actually helping yourself.
Yeah.
Because as I share, you and Sam Richter and Mary Kelly and some others are in our group, and I share with them, wow, that's a great idea. I learn from it. That's so powerful.
Yeah. I mean, I think the other thing too is that first of all, Cindy, I really am going to tell you, I really believe you should go with a mastermind first. A coach probably down the road. I mean, I've got a coach as well in addition to my mastermind, but my coach is really in a particular area that I want to improve. And the thing about you being new in sales, you've probably got a lot of areas that you need to grow and you need to develop. Here's a couple of things, though, that I want people to understand about a mastermind. Go find people who are confidently humble. Like, the thing about Mark and the other members of the mastermind is I know I can go to them and ask them questions, and they have good, solid answers based on the success that they've had. At the same time, they're humble. Like, I'll say, I can't get, well, like we were dealing with one of our partners who he's been dealing with the same goal for a year. And we just really drilled down and we're like, what's stopping you? What's preventing you? You've got to be able to be vulnerable. This is like your posse helping you to be successful. And so don't go into a mastermind going, oh yeah, my retirement's settled. I've hit all my sales goals. Everything's great. You got to go in going, I'm excelling in these particular areas, but I'm struggling in these particular areas and I need help from you guys.
This means that you've got to be willing to put your pride and your ego aside.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you really do, because you have to allow yourself to become transparent. And the value and the benefit then becomes magnified when you do. Here's what I find so fascinating. Over the years, we've had some incredibly deep conversations. And my wife was asking me, and I'm sure
my husband.
Your husband has asked you too, what's been the value, the benefit? And I went back and I said, wow, here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things that I've been able to achieve and do that I never thought I would be doing. But because of my mastermind, I'm going to go back to Phoenix. We met in Phoenix, January of this year.
Yeah.
And you and the others in the mastermind gave me a tremendous idea. And more importantly, not just a dream, but an idea. And I've been exercising. And I came into the meeting. Okay, I got some of it done, but I was a little bit sheepish because I had not accomplished enough of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think the other thing too, Cindy, is that if the better you use a mastermind, the more effective it will make a coach. Like, my mastermind has helped me understand, like, I'm really looking for some career transition pieces. And because I've been able to identify those through my mastermind, I mean, that's the other thing beautiful about a mastermind is you go in there and you think about, what do I really want? What am I really trying to accomplish? What's my goal? And then you'll realize pretty effectively where you have some deficits. And that may be where you need to hire a coach.
One of the reasons we're having this show is because we talk about Sales Logic Mastermind every week. And Sales Logic Mastermind, we want to encourage Natalie, who is watching the show this morning. You're part of the mastermind group, the Sales Logic Mastermind group. Because again, it's the group of people who are committed to excelling in sales, who are committed to taking their business to the next level, and are willing to share ideas and be accountable. And that's what makes the Sales Logic Mastermind. Now, there's something else that's very valuable about Sales Logic Mastermind. You and I do this a lot, and the others in our mastermind. We exchange titles of books. Hey, have you read this book? Have you read this book? And that's one of the things that a mastermind is a resource. And within the Sales Logic Mastermind, we've got the Sales Logic Brain, tremendous tool. We have the Sales Logic Intel Engine, which is a tremendous, it kind of brings Google and AI together and helps you find the information that you're looking for. We've got a whole video resource library. We've got tremendous number of assets. And that's what makes the collective power of Sales Logic Mastermind really so special.
Yeah, I would say too, like, get in and use and take advantage of a mastermind. But if your mastermind isn't working, there's only two reasons. Number one, you're not using it effectively. I mean, I love when Natalie comes into our mastermind every month. She comes in ready to go. This is what I need. This is what I need help with. These are my comments. She's never shy, just like she's never shy on this show. But it's there for you to use. I was mentioning the fact that I've got a coach. I've actually got a fitness coach now. That's the area of my life I'm trying to improve.
Now just a second. You working on fitness?
Yes.
You're already incredibly fit.
No, I went and got my physical this year, and I lost about 3 pounds of muscle. Freaked me out just a little bit. So anyway,
the world stopped.
Yeah. But in working with my fitness coach, he said something really, really interesting to me. He said, you'd be surprised how many people sign up with me and never talk to me again. I text him, I email with him every single day, and I video with him once a week. And I feel that way about a mastermind. Like, I don't just meet with these guys every quarter when I bump into them. If I need Sam, or I need Mary, or I need Mark, or I need Peter, or I need Victor, I just reach out. I call constantly, suck it dry.
And we're texting back and forth. This is the whole thing, that there has to be a level of ownership and commitment on both parts. For those of you who are checking in, we are on the Norwegian cruise line in, what is it, the Encore? Yeah, the ship is the, I guess we've been on it so long. Anyway, we're sailing back from Alaska right now. We're off the tip. No, we're in fog. Who knows what's out there? But anyway, here's a situation about your mastermind group. And this is what's been the value. We have had so many conversations over the course of the week on the boat where we've been able to dive into topics. And this is the thing with a mastermind group. You have scheduled times, but you want to make sure that you also afford yourself time to connect with various members. I know in the Sales Logic Mastermind, we had our call last month, and it was amazing the number of people that, hey, I'm going to reach out to you afterwards. I'm going to reach out to you. I'm going to reach out to you. That's the power of the community, because you have subject matter experts that you didn't know you had access to.
Yeah.
And it's amazing who they know who connect you to other people.
The thing to me is join a mastermind if and only if you are ready to get better. I have been parts of masterminds before where people push people and they won't go. Like everybody has all the answers. They feel like they've got what they need. A mastermind is about pushing you to the next level. You're so right about looking, talking to Anne and talking about, what the value that you've gotten. I look down and there are parts of mine, like you guys pushed me to deliver a keynote at Thrive that I never would have delivered. I never would have delivered it without that, without the mastermind. It really, really pushes you to another level.
Did you deliver that because you had the safety of the mastermind supporting you in that idea?
Absolutely. I also had the whip of the mastermind. I didn't want to have to go back, kind of like what Natalie was saying about the accountability. I mean, let me tell you, I sat there and I thought, oh my God, I don't want to do this, but I told you guys I would do it. Now, to say I didn't want to do it isn't true, because this is where I want to evolve my business. Here's the other great thing about it. In delivering it and talking about it, I found another member of our mastermind who felt the same way that I did. And he and I are kind of partnering up, like you and I partner up, to do some things.
See, this is where it's so key, because if you come into the mastermind, okay, here's the objective I want to accomplish. And that's the other thing. Don't join a mastermind unless you have an objective. And I'm going to challenge you that your objective is just not to keep doing what you're doing. No, your objective is to push yourself to the next level. That's where the ROI. I said earlier, ego. You got to put your ego aside. I think ego plays, but it's a different ego than what you think. It's EGO, empowering greater outcomes. And if you can be part of a mastermind and empower greater outcomes in others, and others empower greater outcomes in you, then you are absolutely on your way to the next level. Because sales is not a solo. I've said this a lot. Sales is not a solo activity. Sales is a team sport. and you've got to have people supporting you.
Yeah, I love what Mark is saying here. Mark Bregman, another member of our mastermind, even if a piece of advice is for someone else in the group, I found elements that I can apply to that I'm working on.
It's so true, Mark. I love that comment because, again, we can be in conversations, and I don't care what the mastermind, whether it be this mastermind that we're on the boat with, whether it be the sales logic mastermind, but we'll get a conversation going, and wow, that's a head scratcher. And I take that and I then process it with something else, add it to something else, so forth. And that's the other thing. If you join a mastermind group, you want to make sure that you don't just show up. Prepare yourself to show up. This is what I want to get out of it. And then B, after it's over, recap. When we got done with our meeting the other day, I took about 30 minutes just to recapture my notes, to walk through and say, okay, what are the things I need to be working on?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the other thing too is I feel like we're good influences on each other all the way around. Like our mastermind isn't just about our business; it's about our relationships, it's about our health, it's about the other aspects of our life. It's about saving for retirement. I mean, we talk about all those types of areas. So Andy says, push or pull to the next level? Question mark.
Wow, push or pull? I think it's both.
I do too. I absolutely think it's both.
I think it's absolutely, because I'm pushing Mare, she's pushing me, but I'm also pulling in other ways. So it is, and this is the whole thing, that if you come in with an attitude that I'm better than everyone else, mastermind's doomed. Mastermind is doomed. But if you come in with an attitude of just humility, humbleness, it's amazing at what you can gain from it. And that's the other piece, because when you come in with a level of humility, you listen better. I hear ideas.
So
you have said things over the years that I go, wow, I really got to take a step back and think about that. And it's not just what you say, it's how you go about doing it. Because, on this cruise, for instance, we've been on this cruise for 7 days. We have learned a lot about each other as various couples. I mean,
oh my God, that's so funny. Rob said that last night. He goes, you really learn a lot more about it because we're on here with spouses or significant others, which I think is another really powerful part of our mastermind, is that it's by bringing in our partners, it's made us more of a family.
Hey, and because one of the members actually got married
on the ship.
Cruise.
That's right.
So it is. We're all married couples, but this is the whole thing, because sales goes beyond just selling. Sales is really a lifestyle. And go ahead, Mary and I both very much agree on this. You really can't separate yourselves from the two. Yeah. It is absolutely one and the same.
Yeah, I would say the other thing too is that when you talk about pushing or pulling, Andy, one of the things that when I was asked to join the mastermind, Mark and Sam and Mary were already together when I joined the mastermind, and Mark brought me in, is that you look around that mastermind and you think, I am the cheap real estate. I am so happy to be in this mastermind because I am the weak link. And that's what you want, is you want to surround yourself. And now we've added Victor and Peter, that it's that it is it's really strong from that perspective. The other thing that I think is valuable too, and there's been talk about this all over the place, but even having some masterminds are, they stick to, all women or all men. And I think, there's certainly value in that. But I love the fact that it's Mary and I and the guys, I think there's real value in a female male matchup.
Oh, I think there is. I mean, the diversity of who we are, the diversity of our personalities, our walks of life, that's what makes, I think, the mastermind valuable. And this is one of the key things, regardless of a mastermind you grow. And we do really encourage you to join the Sales Logic Mastermind. But it's the diversity, because if you hang out with only people who are like you, it's not going to push as much.
Yeah.
You want to have that diversity, because, again, you're dealing with customers. They're all not walking and talking like you. And that's why I thoroughly enjoy some of the conversations. I want to go back to a comment that you made. You said, wow, you were so thankful to be in it. I have made that comment to my wife time and time again. I'm the stupid idiot in the group. Well, lo and behold, we're talking to some of the other spouses, and everybody says the same thing. Yeah. Everybody says the same thing, that their spouse says, oh man, they are the weak link. The others are so brilliant. But that's the beauty of a mastermind, because I don't think I go into any situation not thinking, how can the mastermind help me? How can they help me? And again, This is what's so critical. You can't go into sales solo. It just does not work. Period.
So how does Cindy go about finding a mastermind?
Well,
Cindy should join the Sales Logic
yes,
Mastermind. We know that.
Yes. Okay. Now, here's the thing. You got to go out and say, okay, who are other players who can help add value to me? Who are other smart people who I can help? And who are other people who are willing to be transparent, and I'm willing to be transparent. Now, there has to be a certain click with the personality. I mean, for those of us in our in our mastermind, our personalities just click.
Yeah, very well.
We just absolutely connect. So you got to do that, but you got to ask, okay, what's the common goal? I was part of a mastermind years ago where one of the people in the mastermind refused to set goals, and it died. It absolutely died. So you have to be willing to all play by the same rules. You're going to bring in a level of insight. You're going to bring in a level of questions. You're willing to help each other. You're willing to put others first, and you're willing to set goals and hold each other accountable. You have to have that. So for Cindy from Arkansas, you got to find people. Now, I'm going to suggest, Cindy, go out and check out saleslogicpodcast.com and check us out. Because, again, we are finding in our group amazing how people are connecting beyond. And that's where the mastermind really becomes valuable.
Yeah. So what's the book?
Well, the book is Sales Logic Mastermind.
That's right. If, I thought about adding a book today and I thought we don't need to add a book. We're talking about masterminds. Just check it out. Come on, take a look at Sales Logic. Go to saleslogicpodcast.com. Check out the page on the mastermind. We've got a couple of members here hanging out on the show today, but it is a powerful group of people. We meet on a monthly basis. You have access to the sales intel engine. If you need leads, if you need information about your leads, you have access to the Sales Logic brain, and you have access to an incredible group of people as committed as you are to the growth of your organization, for you excelling and exceeding in your goals, for you putting yourself in charge and 100% in control of your own career.
You ready for the lightning round?
I am.
Top 10 things we have learned from our mastermind.
Number one, the importance of having people in your corner.
2, accountability. People that will beat me up over the head, literally, if I don't achieve what I say I'm going to do.
Number 3, the importance of having goals beyond my business, to think about every aspect of my life.
Number 4, insight and wisdom that I never realized I had available to me. But by being able to sit and talk with people, the ideas come.
Yeah. Number 5, being able to reflect and adjust and really ask myself, are these the goals I want? And being able to have a sounding board of people who are really diving into where I'm going in my company.
Number 6, knowing that, I may feel alone with this problem, but you know what? Somebody else in the mastermind is dealing with the same problem, and I can reach out and have a conversation about it.
Yeah. Number 8, getting the help I need in the areas of business where I'm stuck, where I can't make progress. Having a group of people in my corner who will help me push through every obstacle.
Number 9, just having a level that sometimes when I wake up and things aren't going right, I can count on a text from somebody in the mastermind group to kind of lift me up.
Yeah. Number 10, I would just say friendship, connection, and family. Our mastermind has grown far bigger than a group of people there to support each other for work. It has grown into a group of people who are connected at a far deeper level.
Although we probably never will do another 7-day cruise to Alaska. Never again.
Well, actually, we're never letting Mary Kelly be in charge of our vacations ever again.
But it was her wedding, and we were very pleased to join us. Anyway, with that, we want to say thank you for listening to Sales Logic. If you like what you hear, subscribe, rate, and review the show on your favorite podcast app. If something we've said has earned you a single dollar, hey, consider telling a friend about our show, because it's how we grow when we help you grow. I'm Mark Hunter.
And I'm Meridith Elliott Powell.
Remember, when you sell with confidence and integrity,
all of this uncertainty suddenly becomes your competitive advantage.
And the sale becomes logical.
All right. Join us right back here next week, 8 a.m. Eastern, for another episode of Sales Logic.
From the shore.
Until then, check out saleslogicpodcast.com. Check out the mastermind, and we'd love to have you.